Hey everyone, what is going on? And you guessed it, another video. These are my battles I did on stream, and Squirrel Power. Let's go. That's going to be the title of the video. Huge shout out to my friend Mr. Bug. He comes into the chats all the time. He's on the Discord actively, although I'm not really active on my Discord much anymore. I'll admit that. But yeah, I really appreciate it, my friend. He came up with the name of the title of the video, Squirrel Power. Greedent is so great. Basically, it needs to avoid fighting types, and basically then it's looking really good. Like, it's really good against a lot of the meta, right? I think it's a great Pokemon. It's helped out a lot in these battles. Let's go ahead and dive right into the battles. I do have Thunderbolt on Deoxys. You could go Rock Slide. I have Thunderbolt for the Tapu Fini, but also for, like, the Registeel as well. Of course, you're going to be doing better against that. I do go ahead and shield that one up, and I think my opponent goes, yeah, they do go for a catch on Giratina. Good attempt, but I'm going to be able to bring Sylveon. This is a great match for Sylveon, especially since they have Dragon Breath. Even if it had Shadow Claw, this is definitely still a winning matchup where you can farm down, but because they have Dragon Breath, I do double resist it. Now, it's a little bit, I guess, a little bit scarier because my opponent did boost, but it ultimately doesn't matter. I mean, I am taking more damage, so I guess it matters in that regard. But it doesn't really matter because I'm still going to be able to farm down before my opponent gets to another attack, which is good for me. So I still take that matchup despite the boost, right? So that's good. So I'm looking at, see what comes in. It's going to be Cresselia. If Registeel came in, I was going to click on my Moonblast immediately. I'm still going to go for Moonblast against Cresselia anyway. My opponent does shield. I didn't really expect a shield, but that's a good shield because my opponent can farm down before I make it to another Moonblast. So I might as well get some damage. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Psyshock. And the Psyshock, I mean, I'll take the damage, you know. So I do get farmed down. I do bring in Greedent right now. So Greedent, I went looking pretty good here. Hoping for no, like, attack debuff. I still have a shield. My opponent is going to go ahead and get off another attack. Cresselia is so tanky. It really is so good. It's just so good. It really is. My opponent actually makes a really good catch. But you know what? I'm totally fine with that because this will KO the Registeel, and now the Cresselia comes in. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Crunch. Maybe go for a debuff. Obviously, super effective damage. But yeah, despite the catch from my opponent actually conceded. Yeah, that's going to be a win there. Good game, well played. I'm going to be able to take it. Let's go ahead and move into the next one. Defense Deoxys into Scrafty. Great matchup because my opponent generally will switch out of this. And I have a Sylveon for later. Now, I think I should have thrown Thunderbolt first and then switched out because my opponent's actually going to be able to win this one now. My opponent did get some energy, which is not great for me. So here's the thing. Like, I'm okay with losing this matchup if, you know, I can come out with the shield advantage. And if I threw the Thunderbolt, I probably would have been able to. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to now. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw the Body Slam. Not expecting the shield because this is not threatening a KO, right? So my opponent, yeah, is not going to shield. I really want to get to another one. My opponent does get to an attack. I could take it. And I know they could shield and farm down if they choose to. But as long as I get, as I said, as long as I get this shield advantage. But beautiful counting by my opponent. That's going to force me to shield. I could have let it go. But it's going to force me to shield and then throw an attack. And then my opponent will shield. So we're even on shields. My opponent takes switch. I would have preferred getting that shield advantage, as I said. So maybe, as I said, you know, throwing that Thunderbolt first would have been nice. And here's another mistake. I do click on the Thunderbolt. Farming down would have been better, obviously, but I didn't want to take the Crunch, so I was hoping to throw the Thunderbolt before my opponent got off a Crunch, but my opponent actually CMP'd me. So, that's not great, but I see Jellicent coming in. So this is actually fine, because I know Scrafty has no play against Sylveon, right? I know that. So Sylveon has nowhere to go, and I knew whatever was in the back was going to come in. And it is a Jellicent, as I said, I'm totally fine with it. Just going to go ahead and let this go. A Surf will not KO. They actually do throw the Surf. I was expecting the Shadow Ball, but I do live that. I guess they wanted to farm down. They don't know I have a Sylveon in the back. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Psycho Boost, and now I can switch out into Sylveon. I'm going to shield this one because I don't have to worry about the attacks from Scrafty, right? So I'm going to go ahead and shield that Shadow Ball, and my opponent will switch into Scrafty, but that's totally fine. Yeah, it's going to be a good game because I could easily take a foul play. I could take a foul play and then the Shadow Ball as well from the Jellicent. Good game. So I feel like I did make some mistakes, but I'm still able to take that one just because I had a great matchup. Moving on, Deoxys into Giratina Ulted. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go into my Greedent right now. My opponent not switching out, at least not right away. That tells me there's no fighting type in the back because they would have, I feel like, switched out immediately. And, you know, my that my concerns, I guess, are addressed because there is none. Because Drapion comes in, and if there was a fighting type, it would have come in against Greedent, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and throw, and I'm going to go ahead and throw another one. I would say the most common fighting type is definitely Cobalion nowadays. And Greedent hates Cobalion with a passion. Like, absolutely hates it, despises it, wants nothing to do with it, right? Because all the moves are resisted, wants nothing to do with it. But the other two Pokemon are fine against it. Obviously, Deoxys is resisting the moves besides Stone Edge, doing super effective damage with counter. Charm is doing neutral damage, and you're resisting the charge attack. Or not the charge attack. You're not resisting Stone Edge, but you're resisting the other moves. But I do take Switch there, which is really nice for me. Now Sylveon can be aligned to this Giratina. So that's really important. I'm just going to let this go. Maybe I could have made a crunch if they went for the farm down. I don't know. But either way, I'm totally fine with them throwing. Out comes this Cresselia. Now, obviously, Cresselia, as I've addressed already, is kind of annoying, especially for Deoxys. But generally speaking, I don't really have to worry about Giratina when I have the Sylveon. So yeah, I'm just going to save my shields for, just save the shields for Sylveon, and we're looking really good. Just going to go ahead and throw these attacks. I'm going to throw another one, try to get to another one. A little bit of lag there, or glitch on the stream, but not too much. I'm going to go ahead and take that Moonblast. Yeah, I mean, they're not getting the debuffs. I am expecting a shield here, but I'm still going to go ahead and throw the Thunderbolt. And my opponent does shield, because they do know I have a Sylveon. So Giratina really wants nothing to do with Sylveon, right? I get it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. I was hoping I could get to a Thunderbolt, and I am able to, but my opponent makes an attempted catch. Luckily for me, I see that attempted catch, and I switch on to Sylveon, and I catch the Dragon Claw. So that's really good for me. I just Charm all the way down, have a lot of energy. There was no way my opponent was going to win that one. Good game, well played. So tough lead, but able to take it. Moving on. Okay, we have an Ampharos. I do have to watch out for Brutal Swing. It is super effective, but it's not the strongest move in the game. The only thing is, if I had Rock Slide, this would be better, because Thunderbolt is resisted. So I'm going to throw the Psycho Boost. If you don't want to get debuffed, you could throw the Thunderbolt, but they actually shield, so I switch into Sylveon. And now they're throwing, I don't think this was a catch, so that tells me again, my opponent doesn't have a hard answer like a Steel type for Sylveon, because they are staying in. So, because they're staying in, I'm actually going to go ahead and shield this one up. I know it's going to be a Thunder Punch. At least I anticipate it being a Thunder Punch. Out comes Greedent, so another Squirrel from my opponent. You'll love to see it. I love Greedent. I really do. Like, I think Greedent is so good. As long as it stays away from the fighting types, as I mentioned, right? Especially that Cobalion. I mean, Scrafty as well, like other ones, but Obstagoon, obviously. Everything, Greedent does not like those fighting type users. But my opponent will go ahead and throw an attack. This will be enough to threaten a knockout, and it will KO me. The issue here is if I go for the farm down with Deoxys, which I am going to do, my opponent does get off an attack, and it's going to be a crunch. It is super effective, but I could take it, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I do get that debuff, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I know Ampharos is coming in, and Ampharos, it's not like it's a terrible matchup for Deoxys, so I'm okay with that, but my opponent actually shields that. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw another attack. And this is going to be another Psycho Boost, of course. And then I switch into my Greedent. My opponent is throwing an attack. I'm going to call no Focus Blast. And it's going to be a Thunder Punch. Very nice indeed. Out comes Dragalge. Okay, so that's totally fine. I mean, I have a lot of energy. They're charging up. I know an Aqua Tail doesn't KO, so I figure they'll charge up for like the Outrage at least, right? So I'm okay. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Body Slam into the Dragalge right now. I mean, man, you could really spam out these Body Slams, I'm telling you. I think this is an Aqua Tail, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go. It could be an Outrage, but it is an Aqua Tail. Unfortunately, I do lose CMP there. I could have thrown a turn before, but I was trying to throw in good timing, so I waited a turn. But that's okay. I'm just going to be able to shield and get off this attack right now. So that will connect, and now my opponent switches out, and I go ahead and switch. Now, did I catch this Thunder Punch? If they had Brutal Swing, they would have thrown the Brutal Swing, so I'm not sure if that was a catch or not. But either way, I could farm down and try to get to a Psycho Boost, and I do get to the Psycho Boost, which will KO the Poison-type Dragalge, and that is going to be a great game. Very well played to both trainers. Well done. But yeah, I'm going to be able to take that one. GG's. GG's. The new season is beginning June. Let me know, well, I might make a separate video of it, discussing like the changes and everything, what we think. Anyway, we jumped right into this battle, a little bit of lag. I do apologize for that. We're like in the middle of the battle. I lost the lead. I safe swapped into Sylveon. My opponent responded with a Shadow Alolan Muck. Yeah, my stream actually glitched out there, and I think it reset. I wasn't going to include this battle because of that, but I forgot about it. So yeah, I do apologize again for that. So jumping into the middle of things, I do shield that Dark Pulse. I am going to go for the Fun Down, and I'm going to be able to get it, but not before another attack comes in. And I knew it was going to be a Dark Pulse, but that's fine. Dark Pulse. I mean, this is really looking bad. Trevenant was in the lead. So Trevenant in the lead, and then Alolan Muck and Shadow Drapion. So Shadow Alolan Muck, Shadow Drapion. I do back out. So yeah, I was meaning not to include this, not because I lost, but because just like there was like issues or whatever with the stream during that battle. But that's okay. You can see how bad that one was, right? Okay, going up against a kommo-o. I mean, I do have super effective Psycho Boost attacks. I'm going to go ahead and go for one. And my opponent does shield that. And I'm going to go ahead and switch into Sylveon. I don't know why I went directly into Sylveon. Sylveon's obviously the hard answer. Well, the reason I did is because you don't want to go into Greedent. That's not really good. Obviously, the close combats would be coming out. So you don't want to do that. But out comes this Cresselia, and it's good to lure out the Cresselia, I guess. Cresselia is definitely annoying. Greedent has play against it because of Crunch, but it's still really annoying. Cresselia is still tanky. It really is. So Sylveon, I'm going to go ahead and get hit with this attack. And it's going to be a Grass Knot, totally fine. Yeah, if you battle that team like Trevenant with double Dark Poison, whether it be Skunk Tank, Alolan Muck, or Drapion, you really have nowhere to go. You're probably going to lose that one. And I have seen that team, not, with this team, but I have seen that team a good amount of times. It's a really popular team, and it's a really strong team. So if you go up against that, you're probably going to lose, but it would be very difficult to win a game like that. But I'll take that Moonblast with my Greedent. I think I overfarm a little bit. I lost count. I was talking to the chat. I wasn't sure where they were at, so I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Crunch right now. And then switch out immediately and go for the Psycho Boost, but my opponent actually clicks on their move first. So they get off the move first, but at least I guess I didn't click on it. That's right, it wasn't a CMP tie. So I thought bad timing here. They get through a confusion, which is not great for me, but that's okay. I am up 2 shields, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this attack, this Thunderbolt right now. And Thunderbolt will go ahead and connect, and my opponent will go ahead and throw an attack. Now, if it's Side Strike, I think I actually live this. I think I do live this one. I do, and I'm able to get to a Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost still won't KO, it's resisted, but I'll take this damage. It does get it pretty low. So Greedent is coming in. A little bit of lag, thank you, game. So I guess, the kommo-o is coming in. But I'm going to be able to throw the Body Slam right now into the kommo-o. Unfortunately, it will not be enough to KO. Now, I am anticipating a Dragon Claw, but I still go ahead and shield. Because if it's a close combat, if they wanted to double up, it would KO me. Again, this could be a Dragon Claw, a close combat. It is a Dragon Claw, so I do go ahead and shield. Now, my concern is, I should have let this one go. Because I know that Mewtwo has a Dynamic Punch. And here comes the Dynamic Punch. I was just hoping to live it, and guess what? I do actually live that Dynamic Punch. And look at the time. Confusion goes through, but that second Confusion does not go through, and I get off this Body Slam, and I'm going to be able to take this game. But looking back to it, I should have shielded the Dynamic Punch, and I should have taken the Dragon Claw. But if it was close combat, it would have KO'd me. So I guess I didn't make a mistake, right? It could have went either way. But either way, good game. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Okay, this is okay. This is neutral. I am weak to, obviously, the foul plays, but I'm doing super effective damage with the counter attacks, which is really nice. So I do go ahead and get off my Thunderbolt. My opponent is going to go ahead and shield. They, I figured, doubling up, or at least getting close to 2 moves. This foul play is coming out. I'm going to be able to survive it, so I just let it go. And I'm trying to get to another attack. Not able to get there, so I do go ahead and shield so I could try and get to my Thunderbolt. And there we go. My opponent switches into Giratina. I'm going to go ahead and respond with my Sylveon. Now, this is Shadow Claw. If they have Dragon Breath, it is better for the Sylveon because you do double resist it. But it's still a good matchup. You still don't have to shield a thing. You can just chomp all the way down. Even if they have Shadow Force, which obviously my opponent does not because it takes longer to get to Shadow Force. My opponent should be able to get to another Shadow Sneak, but I do live it. And here comes the Shadow Sneak. So I'm going to get nice and low, and I do have a lot of energy, so that's really good for me. And so whatever comes in, not going to get a lot of farm. I'm watching, I'm looking up to see what comes in. I do see it's going to be that Berserker, so I do go ahead and click on the Moonblast. Moonblast is like a safer play anyway to throw. And out comes Feeny. I'm going to go ahead and go into my Deoxys. Now, I do think this was a mistake. They know I have Thunderbolt, so I think I should have thrown Psycho Boost, because now I can't make it to an attack. I try to get it. If I threw Psycho Boost, I would have gotten off another Psycho Boost. It would have been debuffed, but I would have gotten off that damage. So probably a safer play there by me. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to win this match. But yeah, I would say that would have been a better play, because I would have gotten off that Psycho Boost. Even if they didn't shield and they called it, I would have gotten the second Psycho Boost. They probably would have had to shield that. If they didn't, they would have gotten really low. So, but at the end of the day, that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and throw this Body Slam. I just need one more Body Slam. I have a shield. I know this is Surf. I survive it, so I'm going to go ahead and shield. By the off, I know they're not at 2, but even if they were at 2, I would live another one. And get off this Body Slam anyway. So I'm going to be able to take this game, and that is going to be a great game, very well played to my opponent. So KO that Feeny, Shining Tapu Fini, currently in raids right now. And yeah, that's going to be it for these battles. Thank you so much to all my opponents for the amazing battles. I really enjoyed them, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good day, and thank you all for watching. Bye.